This is the first part of my goof off walk. I went north and I'm up on the first beaver dam trail, and I kind of hoped to haul some boulders across that beaver pond down there as it was so low, but I did pass across there, but it was way too rough. And then now I see that the water's kind of building up over the top of the ice. There must be enough coming through the spring from the north that it's filling the pond up just enough that there's no way I'd be using it with the snow dog now. Normally I'd stop and check that camera, see if there had been any animals by, but it snowed, I think, the day after I put the camera up or checked it, except for maybe a mouse or two. And a squirrel, there's not a track here on top at all. Well, this is approaching my corduroy bridge. I take it that a beaver has a dam just downstream because he's got the water backed up all the way here. And I'm talking to a hunter that come through here a week or so ago and thought he would just break through where the spring flows through. You know, it doesn't freeze very hard there, and get his dog a drink, but he stomped with his foot as hard as he could and he couldn't break through. Well, now I know why. The beaver had the current stop down below and it was dead water. Yeah, there's certainly water flowing through, because here it is, or I'm a ways from where the channel should be, and the beaver's got the whole thing blocked up enough that it's flowing in oddball places. Any volunteers to crawl in there and see if our favorite bear is napping? I've been exploring back in here on my way to the spring. I'm in the area between what I call the corduroy bridge and the actual spring when I get my water. And the beavers have got something going on back in here, but it's obvious that maybe a few hundred years ago they really had something going on, because this was a dam that runs through this low country from all the way across for a long ways. Somewhere there's got to be a break where the water's flowing through, but I haven't found it. It's pretty brushy in here. I'm going to be daring and check this cave out. Well, I'm not going in. I'm sending the camera in by itself. This cedar forest was logged over about 80 years ago. You can still look and see the cedar stumps are still hanging in there. They weren't really big trees, but some of these ones that are growing up are about that age. We're coming into Hawks Pond from the north on a wind-chilled, kind of damp day. The temperature's not bad, but kind of cool. And now we'll swing over toward where the bench is over there. I think in season this is where the trumpeter swans would nest out here. When the water's a little higher, and then the young hatch and they drop right off into the water right away. They don't spend the day in the nest after they hatch. I've taken a swing through the marsh grass and the grass out here. It'd be west of the bench at Hawks Pond, and here's where the springs flow in from the west. And I see there's flowing pretty good, but then again, you know, they did have 7 inches of snow melted up here a few weeks ago, but otherwise it's really dry up here. But these springs flow virtually no matter what, which is a good thing in this country. Or this would all be dry. As I came around, got out in the open, I did see something flying in the distance, and I took a few shots with the telephoto lens and caught this rough-legged hawk out here hunting around the hawk's pond. Back in the day, there was no trail through the high ground over there to the left of this picture, and our access to the cabin in higher snow times was always through this series of marshes and swamps for about 2.5 miles. That was no fun because the snow was always deeper out in the swamps like that where it would be held up. The channel to the springs at the west, they head up through here, and I think this is kept open and deep by the beavers because this would be their highway from one swamp to the next. The dam at Hawks Pond is, I think it's been built a little higher every generation of beavers for a long time. And if there's one over there now, he's had to go a long ways for food because everything's pretty much eaten off, so they keep damming things up higher so they can get back into different timber. One thing that I've always noted out here is these tall dead trees you see there. That's a jack pine. They grow on normally very dry ground. It tells me that in years past this was a kind of a high ridge and with the foliage to the north, but a lot lower elevation. Oh. 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 Something tells me at one time he lived at the cabin. We're almost back to the cabin on a kind of a brushy trail that I have that heads parallel to the other nice ones. I hope if I stick around longer this week, I should take advantage of the hard ground and the low water to go in and get it brushed out again so we can enjoy it next winter when we come up here. Camera I've got pointed here. I think if I look at the tracks out here, all I see is snowshoe hare tracks, but I'll check and see how my track ID is. Down the trail ways, I did see a bobcat track, but it didn't get this far. Hey, I was right.